Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? Man, I haven't been on in a minute. It's really weird. I was sitting here staring at the screen, like, should I stream? I have worked like almost every single day for the past like 2 weeks. It's only me that's been doing that too. So anyway, um, I haven't really had time for games. I actually worked like 12 hours today too. Whatever. Tomorrow I'm off, but I gotta go drive my uncle to and from work tomorrow. So I'm off. Off. This is new. I haven't really tried to get this to work. This is the remake art style, but this is the Resident Evil 1 PC port that came out on GOG recently, which hell yeah. I haven't got to play it because I want to play it on the Steam Deck, but you know, it is what it is. But this I uninstalled. When I get to my library. I uninstalled DJ Max from here because there's something about having a rhythm game installed that I need to have an internet connection for that really, really, really sucks. Um, Atari announces Super Pocket Atari Edition. 50 games preloaded Evercade slot. $59.99. Alright, so they've been doing this thing. Evercade has been doing this thing where they've got these like little I think they got like a Street Fighter cabinet coming out, like a little tiny, maybe like I'm hoping it's about this tall. I should grab my Neo Geo cabinet, just difference in size. But anyway, they've they've been adding like cartridge ports to their little arcade machines and stuff like that, just to allow you to play more of those things. And I'm kind of thinking about the thing with the Evercade is like there's something about I can do it from here. All right, we'll just go and load up an emulator. Let's go with this. I'm going to explain. I've tried explaining this to people before. I hear people on podcasts or people with the same issue mention this all the time, and some people don't get it. So ideally, you would want to have a curated collection. This is this is curated. It's not fully curated. I should have gone back through it. I usually try to go back through these things multiple times and have it like good. But pretty anyway. So one of the things that happens is you end up with these giant libraries of games, and let's go with Super Nintendo. All right. So when you have everything, it's really hard sometimes to decide on a single thing to play. Like right here, this section right here, shoot, going up to like here, these games are all great. Like if you like wrestling, Super Fire Pro Wrestling X Premium, great. Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario All Stars, Mario Kart, RPG, World 2, Super Metroid, like man, those are all bangers. But when you can have all of them for free, sometimes it makes it hard to just play them. So you have that. Sometimes when you have too many things, it's also hard to decide. But I like the idea of the Evercade where like what they seem to be doing. Somebody else pointed this out, and I think it's really cool. It's a smart decision. It's like, all right, so say you're looking at this section of games right here. So they would be like, all right, we're gonna put Super Ghouls and Ghosts in there, Mario Kart, Mario RPG, Super Metroid. Then it would be like Super Shadow of the Beast, like a game that you don't really think about. And then you would also get like, I don't know, I can't say that. Uncharted Waters. What the hell? They always throw in like it's not necessarily even a hidden gem. It's just a game that people don't think about. But you have to pay money for the cartridges. So I think it's neat. It makes you kind of think about what you're getting, and it gives you a bit more of a curated experience. So all of a sudden you're likely to sit there and be like, hey, let's load up Populous. Is Populous on Super Nintendo? Whereas right now I need to know this game exists. If I'm scrolling through this list, what would make me stop here? Why would I ever stop here? When I was a kid, I rented this game because I don't know. I think it said like the ultimate God game on the cover, and like that's me. I'm the ultimate God game. I don't know. I definitely rented this though. Sorry. All right. Anyway, it's an angry looking bullfrog. Oh man, this is not a 1989 game. To me, this is like a 1992 hidden gem. This is weird, dude. Go with tutorial. We're not gonna play this for long because this is a weird game. It's a lot to get into. So, all right, so because I've played this before, let me explain what's going on here. This is a game. This is a strategy game, but it is a Sim City. You have to worry about, you know, like money or whatever. This is a game where I believe your biggest thing is your influence. I gotta remember how this stuff works. It's been a long time since I played this. We're gonna do any of this stuff. I don't remember how to do any of this stuff here. I think these are my followers. I'm just know for sure. Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. He says as nothing happens. If I click him, and then maybe click here. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, I can't remember how to play this game. Anyway, whatever. But this is an example of like you had to, if you're scrolling through a list of games, like I'm doing this right now. I don't remember how to play this game. Now, when I rented the game, it might have come with a manual. I don't remember. I know a lot of video stores do this thing where you would get the game You couldn't take home the case, obviously. You go to the store, you would see the case on the shelf, you would take it to the register, they would give you the game, and they would put it in a plastic case. And sometimes you got the actual manual, sometimes you got like some corny stuff that they typed up themselves. Like players tips or whatever, and it's just like the worst tips. Press the X button in Street Fighter to punch, and you're like, great. Does not help me at all. How do I beat this M Bison fellow? But anyway, that game's tutorial, I think it walks you through what they want you to do. Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior. Oh no. Always time for Street Fighter 2. Okay. The oops are because this is a really good port. Looking at this here, cool. Alright, that's a really good port because this is the one that I grew up with. This is the one that I had. This is my introduction to Street Fighter, which I've talked about a million times. Right here, I got this cartridge with my Sega Genesis as like a Christmas present, like '93 or something. This lightning force. It always makes me laugh because I was trying to learn. I was into reading then, trying to be into reading, and they spelled lightning. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't mean lightning force. They were bringing light to the galaxy. But this was my introduction to Street Fighter. I saw somebody else playing it. I saw my brother and his friends playing it, and I wasn't allowed to play it because I was a dumb kid. I'm 7 years younger than he is, so 5 or 6 or whatever. I don't know. And watching them play Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, and finding out there's a thing called the Super Nintendo, mind blown. And I saw this, like, yo, they're karate fighting. None of the kids that were there, none of my brother's friends knew how to do any of these moves. But like, looking at this, like, this looks so much cooler than anything on Nintendo. To me, when I got this game, I don't think I knew that Street Fighter 2 was an arcade game. Like, I'd been to arcades, but I wasn't fully aware of them. But yeah, this game, man. I think this is why I still have a soft spot for Street Fighter to this day. It's just that this is not the first game I played or anything. This isn't the first game I remember either. But it was just a game that was super cool. Ryu versus Dahalasum. Got him. Yeah, this is the one I think of when I think of Street Fighter 2. Console versions, this is the first one I go to. This was arcade perfect, which is, again, listen to the sound effects. I'm going to go back to the Super Nintendo one in a moment. Look at the colors. That's pressing start. The colors, you know, it gets the job across. You can tell what you're looking at. It looks like Street Fighter. I don't know if I put the ROM on here. I can tell you exactly the moment when I remember, you know, sitting there and thinking, you know, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I had a Sega Genesis first. I had a Sega Genesis first. Didn't really, you know, care for, you know, because all the commercials, they made the Super Nintendo sound like it was for babies. Sega had all the cool games, had all the cool adult games like Riddick Bowe Boxing or whatever. Communist sort of baseball for grown-ups like me, an 8-year-old. Anyway, so I wanted the Sega Genesis. I wanted the Sega Genesis because I saw the poster for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I wish I had the box art here. It's a picture of Sonic and Tails, and I think Sonic's like this or something like that. They've got a giant 2 behind them, and it just looks so cool. I didn't know what game that was. I just wanted to play it. And then maybe I had this too. I know I had Lightning Force, and I had Street Fighter 2 because I requested that game specifically. But man, look at this. Look at this game. This game looks so good. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, but when this game was like, when I played this as a kid, going from Super Mario Brothers like 1 through 3, and then seeing this, it's like, yo, blast processing. The Sega Genesis can do anything. What does that mean? It's 16 bits. What does that mean? It's more than 8 bits. Sega does what Nintendo don't. I'm 8 years old. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna keep repeating it anytime somebody says Super Nintendo's better. Anyway, whatever. So the thing is, I got this first, and then I got a Super Nintendo later on, and I had played Metroid. No, yeah, I did play Metroid when I was a kid at this daycare, and I thought Metroid was cool. And I remember specifically getting Super Metroid as a birthday present. Like the number of like important Super Nintendo games that I just owned just on my own because I thought they were cool makes me feel like I had pretty good taste in games as a kid. But God, this game is great. Okay. Getting this game like Christmas Day, getting this in Street Fighter 2 and Lightning Force. Never imagined games like this. Nothing's gonna ever look more realistic than this. Look at how much attitude he has. Look at how cool he is. He's angry right now. Now he's tapping his foot because he doesn't have time to wait for me. I think if you wait too long, I do believe he runs off the screen. He'll die. But anyway. So I had these games. In Street Fighter 2. What that game looked like. Super Nintendo one. Where is that at? Is that? Pull this up again. When I was a kid, in my head, these two games look the exact same. I look back at them now, it's like there are things about both games that I like, but it's like almost objectively like this version of Street Fighter 2 is this looks closer to the arcade. Never bothered me when I was a kid that, you know, there's a big black box around the edges of the screen. This isn't being scaled. This is because this is how this game runs. Round 1, fight. Never occurred to me. Look at how much closer to the arcade this game looks like. Louder. Gotcha. I'm not gonna lose to any girl. The mistaken calculation I got there. Okay, anyway, whatever. This game looks like arcade perfect to me. I'm not gonna say perfect because the arcade version, which I might have installed to me, I might not have done that. I think on that. Sometimes I don't because I've got so many other versions of Street Fighter. It's hard to remember, like, put the arcade version of Street Fighter 2 in here. My dog is chewing this, and it's disgusting. But mouth sounds. Crunching so dang hard. This is the arcade version. The sound quality to me is somewhere in between the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. It's got that weird blaring quality that you get from the FM synth. But it sounds full in a way that the Super Nintendo usually does. Again, these portraits here, compared to the Sega Genesis version, completely different. This one looks, this is the arcade version, obviously. But the Super Nintendo version looks pretty good compared to this. There's more animations, I can already see it here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what my controls are. They're not what I would usually have. Nice. This is the arcade version though. And as you can see, the versions look completely different. But for me, the breaking point was I had a Sega Genesis, got a Super Nintendo. Going back and forth between the two. I feel like at some point I was playing a lot of like Streets of Rage or like Sega exclusives on the Sega Genesis, and it wasn't by, it's not like I knew what multi-platform games were. Like I knew if I saw somebody with a game, there was a chance that the other version would be different. Like I played Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis because that was for big kids. Me and my brother decided that would be the best one to get, because to me, when I look at the games, I think people complain about this now, but I still feel like the Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat 1 plays better. But the Sega Genesis one has blood. It's got the blood code. Abacab. ABACABB. Burn into my head. Zero. Double ice backfire. It's really funny that they do that weird odd stuff in this game. So, animation wise, I think that this game looks pretty good. I'm actually noticing like weird minor details I never picked up on. Okay. That's Super Nintendo. Sega Genesis. Okay. Get over here. ABACABB. Burned into my head. Can't forget it. It's like the Konami code. Down, left, right, DBD. Alright. You can even look here. So the screen to me looks bigger. Like there's more. The characters are larger on screen. But you can look at the colors and the colors are like terrible. But I think this game might actually play better. MK1 is a strange game. It's really...
Fight. Excellent.
What's strange about Mortal Kombat 1 is... it's just the way that... like... music didn't stop there. It just feels like sluggish. Every version of this game feels sluggish, like it's not fully there. They get there in 2, and then 3 they come up with the entire, like, you know, you got the run system, you got a new type of combo, the dial combo system. Alright, so Mortal Kombat, I didn't notice the difference. When I look at them now, you know, as a modern day person, sure. MK2, people complained about MK1 on the Super Nintendo because it didn't have blood. Fair. MK2 on the Super Nintendo has blood. To me, this one is way better. So I played 2 on Super Nintendo, I think. I think somebody came to my house, one of my brother's friends, and he had a strategy guide. And he used to go to the arcade, so he used to brag about how good he was at these games. And I just watched him just like do combos. I didn't know what combos were, but you know, he just had people like stuck, couldn't do anything. It was the coolest thing ever. And I think I like borrowed it from him or something like that, and couldn't do anything. His name was Wayne. This game used to freaking creep me out, man. I don't know what it is. What it is about this. Amazing.
Round 2. Fight.
I barely got a hit on him. I've been holding down the circle button this entire time.
3. Fight.
Alright.
Finish him.
I don't remember anything. Anyway, there's just something about this game specifically. It just seems a lot like Mortal Kombat 1 is like a dirty fighting tournament thing or whatever. It's like Bloodsport, but like somehow even more scary. Bloodsport, when I was a kid, creeped me out when, you know, it seemed like there was like the ever-present threat of somebody just dying. And what's his name trying to pitch it is like, oh, this is real. This is a real thing I went through. Frank Dukes. Oh, that guy sucks.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, so I'm gonna tap out of here. MK2. MK2 is fine. This version of MK2 is also fine. But it was not having played like any new like Sega Genesis multi-platform games in a long time. And when I had played 3 on Super Nintendo and I didn't like it. I didn't really like when they made Shang Tsung. I thought it was a cool idea in the first game when he was like an old guy, strange old man that could transform into anybody. Like, wow, I've never seen that in a game before. So, and they brought him back in 2 when he was young. That was already weird. And then when you play 3, you're like, all right, where's Johnny Cage? It's instant, like, where's Johnny Cage? Got this guy, you got a cop. You got, who the hell is this? Who is this blue man?
Sub-Zero.
All the redesigns, they changed the combo system. But anyway, so I remember playing this game, renting this game a couple of times. Because I liked, seeing the fatalities. And back then, you couldn't just go online and look them up. You had to have a game pro or know somebody that knew to find, what the cheats were. I'm no good at this game, by the way.
Fight.
No good at this game. Because I want to do the ice clone with all the characters at all times.
Round 2. Fight.
Let's see if he does anything. He did the fatality. No, he is. I guess that's a fatality. To me, that looks like an animality. I used to think it was hilarious that little arms would float there. Alright, so we'll do this again. Robot man. Mustard.
Round 1. Fight.
Okay. Alright, whatever. I'm terrible at this game. So anyway, playing that game right there. And then seeing this version, like, it seemed like it was way later. It couldn't have been much later. It was like I played the Super Nintendo one a couple of times. And then I remember going to the video store and they had this on display. And I was like, why does it look like that? It looked like a knockoff. There's a doorbell sound. Look at this. This looks worse. This instantly looks worse than the Super Nintendo does. He's not even the right color in this portrait. Like a little Nintendo sound effects here. And the people that had a Sega Genesis, they would have been like, oh, this is the better game. Fucking crazy. I'm having a hard time here. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out the moves because it's not a standard control layout. Shoe freezes the right color. Everything else is wrong. Oh man, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, so when people cared about arcade perfect ports, like that game right there, this was the game that made me realize, oh, the Sega Genesis technically doesn't have some of the power. Like maybe it runs faster, but the games don't look good. And then the entire Sega Genesis like appeal just kind of like fell apart. You're looking at a sculpture, and all of a sudden you touch it and you realize like, oh, this is made of like papier-mâché. That's what that was like. This is the thing I did. Got the Switch emulator working, which is great because now I can play SPC Chaos. No other way to do that. I got the emulator working. This was actually the first game I installed because I was like, I need to see if this works. And I don't want to waste my time downloading like, Breath of the Wild. I've seen videos of people using it, but that's before all the weird DMCA stuff happened, where like the Switch and the 3DS emulators both got taken offline. The Switch one for sure, but the 3DS one went down by association. So people were like, "Oh man, SPC Chaos is back," and I'm like, "Why? Why?" I don't know. When this game was like new, it was exciting when it was brand new. The first week it was in arcades, and really quickly, like, we had CVS 2, we had one CVS 2, two of these, two SPC Chaos machines, dedicated. There were like 2 Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machines, like an X-Men vs. Street Fighter or whatever that people would always be on. And they put this game between all those fighting games. For a while people were sitting there like all on this. Here, press the B. I zigged when I should have zagged. Who is this for? Where's my father? If you have hidden him, you will pay. You talking about that antique total? What? I didn't press any buttons. Don't be no rematch. Boy, back up. I just gave my dog this huge bone. He ate it. I gave him a bunch of food. And now he's looking at this plate of food that's on my table. What? I remember playing this and just instantly realizing this is not nearly as good as CVS 2 is. Got her. I don't know, okay? Chun-Li looks weird. Bring it on, legs. The way they do their supers in this game is so strange. All the damage comes off the last hit. You see that right there? Nice. But yeah, who the fuck is this for, man? Legit, fuck that game. But anyway, so it was really cool just realizing that, you know, CVS2 runs. Or sorry, SBC runs the Switch version. But that also means I could play these games, and these were the ones where I was like, all right, I have this, I had this. I've never finished Breath of the Wild, never finished Metroid Dread, even though I've got the game on my Switch right now. Probably my problem with Metroid Dread is I don't like the Emmys, which is the hook. I like the idea of being pursued by an enemy that's like unstoppable, but I don't like the way it works, where it sees you anywhere, and it, like, if it sees you, you don't instantly die. It gives you a chance, it gives you a cutscene, but the timing is so just like random on doing the parries for it. Let's turn on the Dread. Give me a sec. Oh, hi. I'm sitting here staring at the title screen for Metroid Dread. I just got back in my room. And I'm like, I don't remember turning my Switch on. It's like, oh, yes, that's right. It's on the Steam Deck. Shh. Nintendo's coming. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this is completely unrelated to what's happening right now. I was thinking about the fact that huge all right, Deadpool and Wolverine exists. Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine. But it's something about like he was in plenty of other things too. But at some point somebody looked at him and was like, yo, this man would be great in a circus themed musical. The Greatest Showman, and he did a great job. I feel like they weren't wrong. I'm convinced that this game is amazing. I had a dude I worked with, so I bought me and this guy got the game at the same time, and I played it. We both played it, and the thing was, it was the damn Emmys. These things right here, where I got to them, and I did the first few, like first three. Like, this is awesome. And then it was like the fourth one where it got like kind of hard, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And him on the other hand, like he played the game like 8 times, just like back to back to back to back. But this dude is also one of those people that's like he's one of those Hollow Knight weirdos. I don't know what to call them. I'm sure Hollow Knight is amazing. I just haven't been able to get into it. But I'm sure, if I gave it more time, I probably would. Right, Pee Wee? My dog is good. I took him on a walk, gave him some treats, gave him some food, and got him some water. Played with him for a while. So now he's just kind of like on the bed, just like chilling. Hope that's what Let's see what happens. Hope it works. No.
soon be entering ZGR's atmosphere.
The bounty for this mission does not seem appropriate. The risk clearly outweighs the reward. Treat our lost assets with care, lady.
Entering the atmosphere in T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That elevator leads to the depths of an underground facility. Signal quality is likely to be low. Remote communication remains difficult. Try to connect to the facility's network when you reach the bottom. That way, you can remain in contact. Any objections, lady?
Uploading data.
So, you've accessed the network state. I've run a full analysis. Whatever caused me, that brings me to your assay. I have determined this planet appears. The ship's location is marked. You may encounter. There are many such cold areas. One final thing.